Coming up in part one of my conversation with Haley Taylor on the Sendy Mom podcast.
I didn't know about airports.
Right.
I was just a kid. I get to the gate
Uh-huh.
to the airplane going to Hong Kong, the once a day airplane going to Hong Kong, and it's pulling away from the gate. So I'm like in San Francisco by myself. And this
No cell phones.
no cell phones.
Yeah.
This is not like this. And this was not me.
I'm Becky Brower, and I'm a Sendy Mom. Welcome to the Sendy Mom podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Sendy Mom podcast. I am really excited to be here with my friend Haley Taylor.
Hello.
So, and Haley and I know each other from mountain biking. Our kids are both on the mountain biking team, and so we talk there a lot of times. And the things I know about Haley is she's super organized and really, and like she's happy all the time. Like every time I talk to you, you're just like in a good mood.
Awesome.
But I don't feel like I know you all that well, and so this is going to be a fun conversation to kind of unpack how you're a Sendy mom. So let's go ahead and start out by tell me why you would want to be on this podcast and what do you think makes you a Sendy mom?
Well, I think this podcast is really a neat. Well, first of all, when I told my kids that I'm not going to be on a Sendy Mom podcast, my son was like, "You're not that Sendy."
Wait, don't they all?
And I was like, "Well, here's the definition. Here's the definition. It's not that you're always amazingly doing everything super hardcore. It's like being brave and being, trying new things and whatever." So I think it's so interesting to just the different. I haven't listened to all of the episodes, but the variety of guests that you've had on. I think it's neat to get to know people and what drives them, what's their passion, and just kind of it's an honor. It's exciting to be on because I love sharing and just kind of getting to know better how we can each keep going and do more exciting things. And I don't know, it's just all the things.
Yeah, it gives us a lot of, well, for me, it gives me inspiration of, the kinds of things that I could try, but it also normalizes the human experience for me a little bit too. So I'm like, oh, okay, we all have kind of some fears and maybe they're in different areas. Like, I'm not super scared of flying down a mountain on a mountain bike, really, most of the time, right? But there are other things that scare me, like talking to people. That's seriously part of the reason why I do this is because it like forces me to get into these situations where I'm really, because I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing or I'm going to ask the wrong question, I'm going to offend somebody or something like that. And so doing it over and over again it's like exposure therapy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And for me, it's like backwards. I can like my favorite thing, I will talk to people all day, but I'm super nervous about downhill. Like it's
really?
like I am so cautious and wanting to not get hurt that I'm always fighting against that. And so it's like, for me, that's every day I go out there, that's kind of exposure therapy. Like, no, you can do this. This is fine. This is within a safe, reasonable.
Yeah, it's not funny. Like, because that surprises me about you. Because I always thought that you're like hardcore.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, and I think I've worked at it for a long time. I mean, like my whole life, I was raised very cautiously. I mean, my parents wanted, and we don't have to get into this right now if there's, but basically they were they were great at you can do anything. Like but it was, they're very high achieving. Like we are high achieving. We can do anything, but we are amazing.
Yeah.
And it was interesting but also we are safe.
Okay.
Like my husband calls me the safety kid. Like it was like we lock our doors when we come in the house. Like we have to be careful and I think part of that was just the time that I grew up and just kind of obviously, I don't think my parents were particularly trying to convey that. It was just kind of, they're more cautious people.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because growing up, there were certain things that I did very well. And then I wouldn't try anything else because I definitely had a fixed mindset of you're smart, so you can do this. But if you do this thing and you do badly, then you're not smart anymore. So we have to keep within this range.
There was a label attached.
There was a label.
An expectation.
And again, I think it was probably within myself as much as, like, I don't know that my parents, like, they were just trying to, help us do our best. But I think I internalized it in a way that for me, it was the way to be the best you and to get the most amount of love is to be the best at stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
And so that's not super healthy for trying new things.
Sure.
Because most of the time you aren't the best at things.
Right.
That's totally
and so
fine.
it's more safe to just stay within
in
your
your
lane.
little lane. Like it was like, okay, I did a lot of school and then I did art, but then it was also like, okay, well, I'm going to do running, but I wasn't super fast, but it was like, I'm going to be tough. And so there were certain ways of trying to kind of like, as I was growing up and just trying to expand, like there were baby steps, of course.
Yeah.
But I think it wasn't until, several experiences in my high school age, like I don't know how I decided I wanted to do diving.
You did diving. Okay. Let's go there. Yeah.
Right? Like I was thinking, I don't know what came upon me or why that seemed like something I would be interested in, but I was like, oh, I want to do diving.
Okay.
So I remember going to the diving class, and one of the first days, I think, you were supposed to stand on the high dive backwards, like with your hands up like this, and you were supposed to just like stay super, super straight and just fall backwards. And if you stay super, super straight, you fall backwards at just the right angle where you go straight in.
Oh, okay. So you don't really have to jump off.
You don't have, like this, that's why it was a beginning thing.
Okay.
You just have to like
Trust.
And that was wild. I was so afraid.
Ooh, I could just imagine though, like the adrenaline that you would be having
So
as you're
afraid.
doing that. That actually would be kind
It
of
was
cool.
wild. And then where it like actually works and you don't die and you go in, it was kind of a rush. I mean, and again, it's like, even when I think about it, and I would do it like periodically. I didn't become a diver. I did some diving. I didn't do I did some classes of diving. I learned some dives, but I think that was when I think about like, that was one of the first times I did something that was like, this is terrifying.
Right.
And but I recognize it still is safe within, like it wasn't crazy. Like I was able to accept
like you were cautious and you had a teacher there helping you with it.
I had parameters. I wasn't doing crazy things, but it was a way that I was able to like really handle that.
Was there a little bit of peer pressure, like teammates or coaches?
No, but it was,
like that?
It was you can't be the person that walks down off this. It was a, you're tough. Like once you decide to do something, you keep doing it. Yeah. And so that was great, but also a little unhealthy because it got to a point where it was like, I was working on a dive and it's like, I would keep doing it and then I'd break the blood vessels on my face because I wouldn't stop and I wouldn't, like it got a little obsessive because of this, I have to be perfect at it. So
it's almost like you were hiding the fear or something.
Trying to control by being
tough.
By being tough. And so it's like you hide the fear and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to go out there and do this. But then inside, it's like there's these emotions fighting. And again, I think I was tough to a certain extent because I could have just not done this.
Right.
But I do think I didn't feel like it was okay to express wow, I'm really concerned about this. Right.
Well, and I think like back in, when we were kind of growing up, that's kind of the expectation is just kind of toughen up.
You just toughen up.
You just do it, and which is a good thing to have.
Absolutely.
But we also need to have the other too. We've got to be able to feel those emotions.
Okay. And also just because you say, wow, I'm afraid, it doesn't mean you're wimpy. It doesn't mean you're not going to do it. It doesn't mean any of those things. Which I think I thought it did. Like I thought, oh, that's weakness if you express any fear or concern or hesitation.
Yeah. So how has that like translated into your own parenting? Like what have you taken from that and changed or?
Well, I think with my kids, the first thing that one of the main things that I've tried to do is I try and not, and again, I'm obviously not perfect at this, but I try and when they are trying something or when they are good and succeeding at something, I try and always bring it back to like, I don't think I've ever said you're smart to my kids or you're athletic or
to label them.
To give a label. Instead, it's like, wow, when you work super hard, look at this is super amazing. Like where it's like, there's always a way to do more, and it's through your persistence if you want to do it.
If you want to. Yeah.
And it's
making that
okay if you
choice.
don't, but it's not that you have this magical thing that then if you somehow don't win or don't whatever, then that is taken away from you.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of felt like, you'd be told like, you can do anything, that, and that was kind of
That was the
way
words.
that they parented us, right?
Yes.
Was like, you can do, we want to, self-esteem and you can do anything.
Yes.
And sometimes you use that a little bit of as a weapon, like then I have to do everything and I have to do everything
I have to do
well.
everything very well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and it was interesting because I think, so I grew up in Bountiful at that. It's high achieving. We want our kids to do well and whatever. But I think just again, how I personally internalize things, I wasn't able to have healthy coping or dealing with that heaviness of me feeling that I needed to do all these things to be valuable or to, and so I had to kind of just, I struggled with, I didn't realize it was depression because that wasn't obviously a thing back then. Right.
Right.
But I had some mental health struggles and an eating disorder and everything in high school. And it was actually a really important time for me because to heal and to try and, work through therapy and everything, I actually dropped out of high school. And so all of the things like I had been the year before, I had been the student body president. And then I had been like, I was doing all the things and I was in all the classes and I was doing great at everything. And then it was like, I realized I couldn't do it. And I'm actually really impressed. It was a big step for my mom I remember she came and she's like, it's okay if I need to not do school right now.
Really?
Which it was like, that was my thing. And also being like, you're not going to school. You're not going to have these roles that you've had in the past. And for me, having all of those taken away or losing all of those for a time, it was very difficult because I had to kind of look and say, what gives me value if I'm not the this and the most at this and the this and whatever, I'm just here in my room.
How did you rebuild that then? Because it's almost like a part of you died.
100%. But it was the part that wasn't super healthy.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was the good thing is it was, wow, I actually do have value. I have value.
Did you go see a therapist?
Yes, I was seeing a therapist. I was getting medication. Like we were pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
And then there was just time. But I think a lot, for me, spiritually, I was able to connect. I felt like I was able to connect more with God and feel like my value just as a human being here, it didn't matter what I did. And it took time. But I think that was a big step for me where it was kind of like, it's okay to come back and do, like, as you're coming back with who you are as yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to step into these same roles of being the best at everything. You could be like someone who tries things.
Yeah.
And it's okay to go and take.
It's like redefining your definition of success.
Absolutely. I think that's absolutely what it was. And then to add on to another terrifying thing in a different terrifying way, my aunt, she lived in Hong Kong at the time, and she called my mom and she's like, hey, we hear it's been hard. Haley's been having a hard time. She's home from school, whatever. Would she like to come and stay with us in Hong Kong for a few weeks? And so my family growing up, we went on the same vacation every year.
Okay. So
we went to Sun Valley. We rode our bikes on a tiny little trail. The craziest thing was when we got caught in the rain one time and had to ride like a couple miles in the rain. Like we were, it was very
cautious.
Very cautious. We had the same pizza every Saturday night. We would do just very, very regular, very, we knew what to expect. And so again, for my parents to send me to a different country, to put me on a plane alone, this was not something that our family did.
So where were you in your family? Like
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
Yes.
So that's kind of crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And again, I think they got to a point where they were like, we can see that she's not thriving.
Yeah.
And so we don't know what this looks like.
What love your parents had for you.
Absolutely. Like,
because you get, when things go wrong, a lot of times with our kids, then we go to a lot of different places. Well, first of all, we go to grief because we're like, oh, they didn't turn out the way
what
we
I
want.
want. It wasn't the plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we make it so much about ourselves, but for them to like actually look at you and say, no, this is reality. This is where she's at. And we're going to do the best we can to help her to get out of it. And we're going to try all these different things. That's just a lot.
It really is impressive. And I think I think that there was a mourning for them, absolutely. But I think just so much credit to them to look and say, hey, you know what? Even if something happens, like even if we lose some way in some way, like not that, but for them, like whatever fears, even if this happens, it's not as bad as like seeing her not thriving. Right. And so that was I'm really amazed that because I was just 16 and I really had not gone out of the house for like 7 months.
It sounds like it completely changed everything.
Oh my goodness.
For you.
This was like the turning point. So they put me on the plane. I get on the plane and we're supposed to fly to San Francisco. And then we're supposed to take a flight from San Francisco to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So I get on the plane, we fly into San Francisco, and the flight is late.
Okay.
And so there was a friend on the flight, someone that I had met, just talking to, that was like, here, let me help you find where your gate is. Because I was like, I had never been, you had to go to a different terminal. Like I didn't know about airports.
Right.
I was just a kid. And so I was trying to ask people, and I get to the gate to the airplane going to Hong Kong. The once a day airplane going to Hong Kong, and it's pulling away from the gate. So I'm like in San Francisco by myself. And
no cell phones.
No cell phones.
Yeah.
This is not like this. And this was not me. Like like, I feel like my kids would probably, like kids now I think could probably handle it fine. This was like not that.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because.
Well, and you're mentally.
I'm mentally not in my I'm not mid-season form, right? It's like, I'm just trying to. But I think maybe because of that, I don't know. It was interesting because it was like, okay, this person that I had met on the plane was like, here, let me help you. Let's go to the front desk because they'll get you a hotel or whatever. So then I figure out, okay, this hotel, and they say, take the shuttle. So I take a shuttle and I go and spend the night at an airport hotel in San Francisco. And then I set my alarm because I have to make sure and get back by the certain time. Like, I don't even know how I did, but the fact that I did all of this and that I did it when I had felt like I was my weakest, I think became, and then I fly to Hong Kong and it's like, I'm there and everything's new and there's new food and it's new. Like every single thing is new and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's scary, but also amazing. And so I think all of that, it became like when I came back, I feel like I was a very different person.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, I can actually do, like, I didn't fall apart. Like, I feel weak and I know that these things feel hard, but it was like, I did that. Like,
I did it.
I did this whole thing.
Right. And like, if we can give our kids that kind of an experience to where we just trust
it's
them.
It's not perfect and it's amazing.
And I can figure it out. And maybe you didn't do it exactly the way that your parents would have done it, but you figured it out. And that did so much more for you than somebody like your parents could have walked with, like gone on the plane with you.
They could have been like, oh my goodness, we need to go. We need to drive down. We need to.
We're gonna rescue.
We're gonna rescue you because you're here in this dangerous position.
And you're just you have this mental problem and you're so broken. Yes, exactly. Telling you all of these things, right? But as soon as you have this breakdown, not only do your parents allow you to have that breakdown and say, look, take some time
and deal with their feelings.
Right.
I'm sure they were beside themselves.
Yeah, sure.
With worry.
As you would.
Right?
Yeah.
But they for this whole situation, they let
you be the one in control of it.
Yeah.
I think that is so powerful, so powerful. So often
really is.
We take the control away from our children and say we know better, and so we're gonna do this for you, and it's all in so much love and so
100%.
much care.
I want to make sure it's not hard, or I don't want you to feel discomfort or whatever.
Exactly.
It's interesting because different situations, different kids, and as a parent, there's a choice between of course you want to acknowledge their feelings.
Yeah.
But if you step in to try and mitigate the issue, you're actually validating their idea that this is a concerning, dangerous situation.
That it is an issue.
Instead of it being like, oh no, you've got this. You completely are capable of handling this.
Yeah.
And I'm not at all concerned that you can handle this thing.
Yeah.
But the temptation is to be like, oh my goodness, here's what you need to do. Yeah. But then you're just putting them back into, yes, you actually do need
can't
me.
do this.
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you this story. This is an embarrassing story.
Okay.
So I try and have, like, we've tried to encourage that our kids just do, like, they have so many different interests, and we've tried to encourage them to be able to explore their interests and whatever. And so my daughter we had purchased a prom dress, and she was like, she sews. And so she's like, I want to change it up. I want to, like, cut some off here and add straps. I want to do something with the back and whatever.
Okay.
So, but she was busy. She was going in and out. And so I thought I was going to be super helpful.
Yeah.
Because there's no way she can get this done in time.
Okay.
She didn't actually say these words to me, but I'm interpreting. You're super busy. You need my help. So then it's like, okay, well, this hemming is going to take forever. I can totally help you hem. She's like, that would be amazing. Okay, well, with these straps, I can totally, and I start
telling her what to do.
Well, basically. And I start making some straps while she's gone. Okay. And stuff. And then she comes back and I'm like, okay, so here's these straps that I made and whatever. And she's like, I don't really like those straps. And again, this is not my finest hour, but I was like, I've been working all day. Like, I've been hemming this, and I don't even feel like you're being grateful. Like, you're not even being grateful for this stuff. And she's like, Mom, like, I really appreciate you hemming, but, like, I don't need your help on the straps. Yeah. Like, she's like, I'm actually fine. Like, I'll let you know. And it was where I realized, I'm like, so as my kids get older, there is less and less, like, it's important to, and I think this is kind of where, this is the thing I'm really kind of trying to focus on right now is, allowing them their space to make a decision. And if the straps aren't exactly how I want, it doesn't matter. It's not my dress. Right. It has nothing to do with me. That's exactly right. Like, but you get so tied into, I'm helping. Right. But it's like, that's not helpful. No, if you want to be helpful, then you need to ask how you can be helpful. And if it's like, I'll let you know, and maybe it doesn't end up getting hemmed and she's perfectly fine duct taping the hem up. Like, there's a million options that could happen that didn't require me coming and rescuing. Yeah. But also I was all upset because I didn't see it as rescuing, but I saw it as, I'm helping and you're not grateful. Yes. And I was like, oh yeah. So that's such a common trajectory for that kind of interaction. So I interviewed my daughter-in-law a while ago. So her episode was really good, but I really dove into this, like, daughter-in-law, mother-in-law relationship. Yes. And one of the things that she told me was, like, it would be more helpful if, instead of, just coming over and starting to clean my house or, make things or whatever, if you just asked me, like, what can I do to help? And I was like, that was, like, so mind blowing. I was like, hey, you're late. Yeah. Yes. Because then you're doing actually what they want you to do. And so you can feel helpful that way, but you're not, like, needing that validation. Yes. Yeah. And needing that, like, gratitude, like, over. Didn't I do a good job helping you? Yeah. Come on. And then you're just sitting there waiting for them to say something about it. And they're like, I'm like, that wasn't actually what I needed or I wanted. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of that's kind of a section where, having seen its importance in my life, making sure that I see that in my parenting. Yeah. It's easy to see it, like, in your own life. Oh yeah, this is great. I was allowed to do these things and to try these things. But then to make sure that that's also translating in what I'm putting forward for my kids. Well, and a lot of that comes down to, like, we think that our job as parents is to make sure everybody is safe and cushion. Yes, put up the cushions. And we think that that's so lovely and wonderful, but actually we have no control over that. I mean, very little. Yeah. We have some influence, but actually the best influence is not doing it. It's just setting the example. And so I've kind of come around to this. I need to take care of me. I need to take care of myself. And as I take care of myself, I've always wanted to do extra things. I love being a mother, but if I am just a mother, I am so intense on being a mom. I need to, like, dilute the mothering. Yeah. Like, there needs to be. Exactly. I need to have something else to, like, take my intensity away from the mothering. And when I do that, I find that my kids look at that and they're proud of it, and they can see, Mom can do these things. Maybe I can do some things too. And then we can have these great conversations about, like, oh, what's your new idea for a business? This is so fun. Totally. Okay, tell me. And I'm not sitting there saying, well, did you think about this? Did you think about that? No, it's more of like, so this cool. Is crazy. You've got this. Yeah, like, how can I help? This? Yeah. So it's interesting because I had a situation where my daughter that's in high school, that's on the biking team, we've talked so much about how it's totally okay to be afraid. We just want to go in and do things. We want to try things, even when we're scared. And a couple of weeks ago, I had an experience where I was going to go to this camp where I knew that I was going to be by far the least skilled person there. And I was more nervous than I've been in a long time. And I think it was because it's the old thing raising up where it's like I do all sorts of things. And I think one of the strengths as an adult that I've been able to develop is being okay doing things at a mediocre level. And I literally was talking to my daughter about it, and I was like, I don't think I can go. Like, I really. And she's like, are you kidding me? She's like, I feel like this all the time. And you're like, just go do it. She's like, you absolutely can do it. This doesn't matter. And she gave me this, she basically gave me back all the stuff. And I was like, I absolutely have to go. And and you're absolutely right. And it turned out it was lovely and amazing. And it was like, yes, it's totally fine. It's not like I was the best person. I was the least skilled person. And it was still lovely and a great experience.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm really glad that's been internalized with my kids.
Yeah. And as they get older too, they become very wise of their own accord. There's things that they repeat back to you, but there's also things that they have learned from other places that they can teach you. With my mom now, I feel like we're more peers than we ever were, we can share things with each other and the things that we learn. And I love it. You have these different relationships all through your whole life, with your children. And as long as you allow them to have this autonomous life apart from you, then they're going to be able to do great things, and they're going to be able to add to your life, and
Totally.
So
that's really neat. That's really neat.
This was such a powerful conversation. I loved getting to know Haley Taylor and hearing how she turned some of her hardest teenage years into the foundation for the brave, joyful mom she is today. Thank you so much for being part of the Sendy community. I decided to break this conversation into 2 episodes. So the second half, where Haley and I talk about building a business with her husband, raising grounded kids, and finding herself again in midlife, is coming up next. So be sure to tune in. It's authentic conversations like this one that keep me going and remind me that I'm just one cog in a wheel that's building more resilient families, children, and individuals. The only way I can keep spreading this message is through you. So please screenshot this episode or share it on social media and tag @SendyMom. Let me know what you learned and how Sendy Mom is showing up in your life. It also helps so much if you rate and review the show on your favorite platform. If you haven't subscribed yet, head to sendymom.com to subscribe and get more ideas on how to be more Sendy and take the next step on your own Sendy journey. While you're there, send the link to a friend who might need a little encouragement today. And if you've been wanting to take a real intentional look at your own story and the legacy you're building, I'd love to have you join the waitlist for my brand new Legacy Design program. It's launching in September of 2026. You can find all the details and sign up to be the first to know at beckybcoaching.com. I truly appreciate you, and I promise to take good care of you. In the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, do something every day that scares you.